Okay, so today we're going to be going over how to make a guardian farm. I already have an ocean monument over here that's already taken down. You're going to have to clear out all the alpha guardians first. I am eventually going to build a wall around the whole thing, which you can see I've already started. But right now we're going to go over how to find the spawning locations. Alright, some suggestions. You're going to want to have 3 different blocks. One to mark spawning locations and the other ones to count these spaces, because you don't want to mess these up. This is very important, so you're going to use like alternating colors just to make it easier to keep track of. So we're going to put one of those on the bar right now, and we can take the rockets off because we're not going to be using our elytra. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is come to the middle of the temple, and beware because obviously the guardians are still spawning right now. We're going to be blocking them, but for right now they're still very, very dangerous. So I already have the block marked out, but I will show you how to find it. So to start the farm, it's gonna start off of this square that's always on top of every monument. If you have one that's a little broken, just finish the square. All right, and then you want to find the double positive coordinate, right? So I know it's this one, but if you look, the number goes up as I walk this direction, and then the number goes up if I walk this direction, because it's in the negative, since it going down actually is positive. So as you can see, that's positive. This is positive, which means that this corner right here, not this one right here, is going to be your first spawn location. So what we're going to do, I'm going to be using amethyst to mark my spawning locations, and this is where the whole farm and all the locations are going to be started from, okay? So then, in every direction, you're going to go out 16 blocks, and on the 16th block, it is going to be your next spawning location. So we have one spawn location, then we're going to go, I'll just start it like this, right? So you're going to alternate colors. Right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's our next spawn location right there. So we're going to come back to the center and we're going to do the same thing, because it's going to be 16 out from the center one for all the spawning locations to begin with. Right? So then you're going to start with blackstone again. That's because what we started right here. So that's 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So if you notice, blackstone was the last block before the spawning location. So that kind of helps us know that we're on the right track. So again, back in this direction. Come on. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So if you don't want all 25 spawning locations, because I believe there are 25 by the end of it, which is a lot, and it's very hard to get all of them to be running at once, you could do as many spawning locations as you want and then just cut out the other spawns so you don't have to worry about the guardians constantly. And if you're like me, you'll set up a conduit so you can breathe and see underwater. As you can see, it makes it a lot easier for me to see what's down here. Conduit's right there. I'm going to turn one of these into a base eventually, but this is going to be my guardian farm. I'm going to do all 25 spawning locations, but just keep in mind that this is an extremely... This farm is fast. I mean, it produces a lot of stuff, but this will give you infinite prismarine, sea lanterns, and fish. But it's mostly for the sea lanterns, in my opinion. That's why I like them. All right, so we're going to do the last one right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, stop it, guardian, 14, 15, spawning location. So we've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spawning locations marked out right here very easily. Okay, so now the next rule, since we know that this is double positive, okay, so any positive, see how it's going up, the x coordinate is going up if I walk towards this way. That means that the next, this is why you need good armor, by the way, because they will constantly attack you until we cut out the spawns. So it's a little bit of an issue, but you'll be fine. Me, I have infinite golden apples, so I'm just gonna eat one of those. Anytime a coordinate is positive, so for this beginning part, right? So if it's positive, it's going to be 9 then spawning locations. So you're going to count 10. So we're going to go 1. This is the annoying part about it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? And that's if it's positive. But if it's negative, what we're going to do, so this is a negative coordinate, it's actually going to be the 11th spot. It's the spawn spot, not the 10th. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So now we have the first positive and the first negative coordinate out of the way, going all the way out. Then you're going to go to this one. So this is a negative coordinate. So that means the 11th space will be our spawn location. All right. You chose this. You've chose this life. We could have been friends. I mean, not really. Because eventually I'm going to be killing you guys on the millions. But, alright. Just to thin the herd. Look at them all spawning over there. So as you can see, they spawned at that spawn location right there. A whole group of them. This is going to be extremely annoying. I'm not going to lie to you. But it is one of the strongest food farms and light source farms in the game. So let's just make sure we're back on the correct plank. Yep. So this will be negative. So this is going to be the 11th block. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Right? So let's make sure we did that correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 spawn spot. Right? So now that we have all those extended, this is going to be a positive coordinate. So this is going to be the 10th block will be a spawning location. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spawning location. So as you can see, we now have the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spawning locations, and then the 4 extra. So we're at 9 already. So now this is your base. This is where everything is going to be literally based off from. So then what you're going to do, so since you have your regular one here, you're just going to go like this, and in each direction from each spawning location. So we'll start right here just to show you. So from this spawning location, we're going to match it up with that one. So we're going to just build out. You don't even really need to count anymore. Just pay attention to what you're doing. All you have to do is look at this extended platform over here, and there's going to be a spawning location matching up with this one, and then one matching up with that one, and we're going to do that all the way across. You're going to end up with this huge grid pattern, okay? So we're just going to continue. We know that it ends on Blackstone and on Blackstone right before the spawning location, and so that means we have 2 more, and then like this. So as you can see, this spawning location is lined up with that one. Now we're going to continue out and meet up with that one, so we're going to put on more blocks on our bar. Hold on, I'm going to reset the recording. Give me 2 seconds. Alright, so now we just continue to that next one. So we're going to go boom, 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 boom. And once you have these spawning locations marked out, the real work can begin. But you have to make sure you do this part correctly. Since that one ends on stone, I believe we are matched up, right? So we're going to do the same thing right there, and then the same thing over there. And as you finish all of this, lining it up with, we're going to do the same thing this way too. It's literally the same after this. You just go out that way, go out that way, go out that way, make sure all the spawning locations are lined up on each side, and you will have all your spawning locations mapped out at that point. And then I will show you how to block spawns. But for right now, so we'll go to this side as well. A good way to keep track is to always start with the same stone at the beginning of these walkways. See how it's Blackstone, 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 Blackstone? Alright, that's just an easy way to keep track, to know if you're doing it correctly, because it'll look off if you... That's why we're alternating blocks like this. Yeah, it takes a little bit more button presses, but it's better for you to keep track. Stop it. Stop it. Guardian's trying to murder me. Alright, so this is our next spawning location. So if you see, we're lined up with that one perfectly. Right, so we're going to continue it out. Blackstone first. So blackstone, greystone, blackstone, spawning point. Boom, all lined up. So now we have what? Wait, that's quite a lot of spawning platforms already. We're going through this pretty quickly, but this is the technical side of it, and the rest is just hard work, a ton of glass and a ton of blocks, okay? Because what we're gonna do is we want to make these cave spawns down here. Cave spawns go under different rules on Minecraft Bedrock, and they're just better than overland spawns in pretty much every way. And by what we're gonna do is that, say we're at this spawning location over here, we are going to take a solid block from underneath like this, dig all the way down, bring it all the way to the floor, through the monument. If you have to go through the monument, you dig through the monument, you go right through it, all the way to the ocean floor. Okay, there's a reason why I chose this one. It's the ocean floor is pretty close. You don't have this huge gap underneath, which is going to save me on resources. But we're going to bring that all the way down. And once this reaches the ground, there will be, you need 2 blocks of water for a guardian to spawn, and when we're blocking it with solid blocks, that'll cut off this spawn, and eventually we'll have all the spawns cut off, and then we're going to surround those pillars that we bring down to the ocean floor in glass. Then we're going to remove the brick inside of the glass, put a button 3 blocks down, and put 2 water sources above it, and the guardians are literally just going to drop to their death, and we're going to have a hopper and a chest waiting down there. That's all going to line up to a collection system, and that will be the farm. It's literally... That's the simplest way I can put it. It's a lot of work, but I would tell you what, it's one of the funnest farms at the end, because you can literally just stand in this thing and you're gonna watch like a bunch of them drop to their death, and it produces a bunch of items, a crazy amount in fact. The annoying part is this: you got to deal with a ton of guardians try to kill you, and when there's a lot of them, they can do some real damage. So make sure you're not wearing a elytra when you do this. Make sure you have your chest plate on at all times. Stone, blackstone, and then spawning location, boom, just like that. But it all starts off of that center location. If you screw up that center location, the whole farm will be off by 1 block. I made that mistake one time, and let me tell you something. I don't think I've ever been that frustrated in Minecraft before. Ripping all this stuff down and redoing it, not a fun experience. So it ends on stone. Spawning platform. You see how we have that? So if we were to go do this other side as well, head all the way over here. I'm kind of flying through it. If you have any questions, make sure you ask me and I will answer them. I'm trying to be as thorough as possible while still going quickly, because this is a lot of work and a very dangerous one at that. You don't want to play around too much. So as we do this, yeah, we're not even close, so we can just keep going. I do highly suggest the alternating blocks though. See how easy it is for me to keep track. I don't get confused at all. And as you can see, all the spawning platforms are lining up. Always start with blackstone after spawning location. Well, whatever block you're using, but obviously, but boom, boom, and then boom. Correct? Yep. So if you notice, we're almost done with one whole side, right? Because we have all those ones done. This is the last one right here. So we're going to come out and we're going to start this one. Once we finish this one, we'll be over halfway done with this part. Then the rest is just grind work, honestly. But once you get it, you get it. It's extremely easy. It's just hard concept to grasp when you look at the grid. There's a grid on the wiki. I don't know if you know about that. That's how I come up with all my farm ideas, is looking at the grid, and then, you know, just knowing how mob spawning works in the game is pretty important as well. There's lots of useful information on there. If you look at how Java works, they have it way easier when it comes to guardian farms as far as spawning locations, but any real attempt at a guardian farm on Java, you have to drain the whole monument. We don't necessarily have to do that, so it all depends. See, they just need in between a certain Y coordinate, they have to be within a certain range of Y coordinates and have water sources, and that's it. So they can make their own little tanks, they can make them look cool, but this is literally how you have to do it on Bedrock, because they spawn in exact locations. Okay, so now I'm going to continue filling in this side. All you got to do is follow the pattern I just gave you, and you will have it perfect. And then I will be back when the next part comes. Another tip, as you can see, I have mobs starting to spawn on my platforms. Come by each one of the spawning locations and place a torch down on it. because as you can see, you're going to get at nighttime, if you don't want to stop working, you're going to have stuff spawning on top of you, and we definitely don't want to be dealing with creepers blowing up our blocks, that's for sure. So we're going to go like this, and if you put one on each spawning platform, with the new light conditions being, it has to be 0 light, nothing will spawn, and you will be fine. So we're going to put a torch on each one of these amethyst blocks, if the guardian won't shoot us off the platform, that is. Just like so. Plus it'll make it a lot easier to find your farm, because we're going to do some alterations to this stuff, but we'll probably put the torches back. Don't even look at me, spider. Don't even think about it. I will murder you. If you're chill, I'm chill, bro. You don't have to do this wall around. I just like doing it. But you really don't need to. Okay, I'll be back when all this is. Okay, as you can see, we have the full platform done now. So what we're gonna do is take a quick aerial view, look at it from the sky, and make sure it looks all nice and pretty. I kind of like the blocks we use, so it should look nice. So we're gonna go like this. Ow. So when you see it, it will look just like this. A nice grid pattern that all lines up. Everything looks ready to go. And now we'll get to the next part. Alright, so this next part of the farm is going to require quite a lot of solid blocks and glass. If you don't have a desert that you want to dig up, or you haven't found a desert yet, you can always make yourself librarian villagers who sell glass for an emerald. And if you're like me and you have a gold farm, you can also use that gold farm to get infinite emeralds. So then you just do that and buy glass. I can't remember if he sells glass. He does. So we're gonna go like this. It's way quicker than smelting and everything, and since this is for a tutorial, I don't need all that much, because I'm just gonna be showing you how to build the chamber at first. We'll do all of them. We'll do all the spawning locations, probably not on camera, because that takes a long time. Other thing I need is chests and hoppers, so we're gonna go ahead and make sure we have those ready to go. I have 28 chests right here and a bunch of iron, so that'll be plenty. I'll put some of this stuff away for right now. Okay, just looking over, making sure I got everything right here, and I will see you back over at the Guardian Farm. Okay, so here we are back at the Guardian Farm. So this next part is going to be expensive as far as blocks and glass goes. Just keep that in mind. You're also going to want to have a wooden button for each spawn that you plan on using. So if you plan on using 10 of the spawning locations, have 10 buttons. So this is the front of the farm, so I think I'm going to start at the back just to give you an example of how this is going to work. And since mobs can spawn on the corner of a block, even after you block out all these spawns, if you still have 1 or 2 guardians spawn outside, just remember it could be one of those things where they spawned on the corner of a block and somehow squeezed out, even though it's supposed to be blocked. I've had that happen before. But also make sure you counted correctly. So don't forget that, okay? So if you're having a lot of spawns happen, you did something wrong. So then this is a negative, right? Since it's a negative location, as the Z coordinate is actually going up into the negative, that means that this is negative. So this should be on the 11th block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we definitely did that right. This guardian is trying to kill me. Sir, I have to do something here. I would like it if you would not be here right now. And keep in mind that you will still get different things spawning in here that will slow down your rates. So draining it or spawn proofing it in some way, slabbing it, or whatever you want to do is always a good idea. I'm going to put a big gravel wall around it, and then I'm going to use sponges and I'm going to drain out the whole thing. That's eventually what I'm going to do. So this will become a base / guardian farm by the end of it. But that's a lot of work, so not everybody's going to have that kind of time invested into it. So we're going to go down like this from the spawning location block all the way down. Ow. So we got to deal with some of these mobs real quick, because I mean, like I said, this is going to take a lot of work. So I probably should have grabbed my shovel, but that's okay. This is just gravel, so we'll just take care of that real quick. That's brick, which is actually good. So we'll go like this, just like that. So now we can actually breathe under here for right now. So we'll go like this, get our breath back. We're going to get rid of this gravel. Then we're going to just dig straight down. Guardians cannot spawn under 39, so all you have to do is bring it down to about this level and you'll be fine. Get out of here. Okay, so we're going to break that block so we don't waste it because we're going to need them. So we're going to go like this and just bring it down like that. So now we can breathe right here. I'm actually going to bring everything down to Y level 35, or we'll go down to 30, I think. 30 sounds like a good idea because we're going to want the collection system and everything in a decent area. Yeah, 30 should be fine. So then once you're down here, we're going to put some torches on the bar real quick and we're going to light this area up. Actually, I put my torches away, so we'll wait on that for right now. So what we'll do is fill this in like that, and then we're going to have to dig our way out of here, which is fine. We will fill in these blocks to make sure it goes all the way down to 30. So every single one is going to go to 30. Okay, so then we're going to go like this. Water is going to come rushing in, which is fine. So what you're going to do is you're going to go all the way down to the stone that you're using. So we're going to go down to Y level 30. Right here is going to be Y level 30. So this is where the Guardians are going to land. Underneath 30 on 29, we're going to have a hopper, which they're going to land on. It's going to flow directly into a chest. So we're going to go all the way back up to the surface using glass. And we're going to do this on all 4 sides of the spawning location, because this is what's going to hold the Guardians in place and bring them right where we want them. So all you're going to do is go like that. So that's one side. So now we have to do this on all 4 sides. So we're going to come down, just like that, dig straight through the monument itself. A good pickaxe always helps. It would help if my conduit was more in the middle of the structure, but that's okay. So Y level 30. So this will be the last level right here. So then all we do is come back up with glass. Just like that. Okay, we need a little more glass. So I'm just going to show you how to do one thing and show you that the technique works. I mean, we're obviously not going to have fantastic rates because everything's still going to be spawning out here because we haven't cut off all the spawns. But straight through the monument, all the way down to 30 again. Not even going to switch off my pickaxe for right now. Alright, Y level 30. And on the last one, we're going to need torches so that way we can light up the area and I can show you what we have to do down there. Keep in mind, you're going to have Guardians trying to kill you the entire time. So what we're going to do is come down again on this side. Straight through the monument again. Oh, that was one too many. So we'll actually put the stone on the bar so we don't mess this up. We want everything to look exactly equal. Alright, then we're going to go glass all the way up. This is a lot of work, keep that in mind, but it's a very fun farm to build. If you've never done a huge mega project like this, I would suggest trying it. Just like that. We'll leave that stone right there for right now. Well, actually, no we won't. We'll break it. Just for it to look nice and symmetrical. Okay. So the next part is going to be interesting. So we're going to grab some torches, which we're going to have to set down an ender chest. Take this off the bar. Here we go. I have a shulker box already waiting for me with stuff that I need. So we're going to go like this. We're going to take the glass and the stone off of our bar because we're not going to need it right now. We're going to need the hopper and the chest on our bar. I don't know, I'm getting all this trash from the mobs I had to kill. Really don't want that. I'll leave that there for right now. So what you're going to do then is you're going to come to this middle area. I'm going to place another torch right here so we don't have mobs because it's nighttime. And then you're going to dig down straight all the way. If you have elytra, it'll make getting out of here much easier. If you don't, you might want to think about putting a bucket of water at the top so you can just swim back up. Okay, so Y level 30 is right here where all the glass ends. So what we're going to do is dig down like so. We're going to clear out a little room down here like this. And I'll show you a nice easy way to give yourself a way out where you can swim in and out. So then what you're going to do is you need 2 spaces right here. So as you can see, 1, 2. We're going to place a chest just like this, a hopper flowing into that chest. The guardians are going to fall down straight from up there, land right on here and die instantly. Then we're going to dig out this little corner right here. Okay, so we're going to have to pillar up a little bit here. So what we will do is use this ugly diorite. We'll dig this out as we go as well, once we get this water to flow down. Okay, so once we break those blocks, it's going to come down. So what you're going to want to do is right at this ground level right here, you're going to want a perfect hole, just 1 block hole. That's all you need. So we're going to... First I got to get the water come down, then I'll fix it. Don't have much of a choice. Okay. Dig up like this. Then we're going to break this block. Water will flow in. Then you're going to dig straight down, and you're going to dig out that 1 block hole right here. The water should, see how it's flowing in right now? To fix that, all you do is go like that, wait for the water to drain, now break it, and the water will flow directly in that hole and stop there so you won't have water flowing everywhere. Then you're going to place some torches in here to prevent mobs spawning in here. Now we're going to go back up to the top. Doo-doo-doo. And then once you're up here, so this will be a spawning location. So then once you're up here, you're going to put away some of the stuff that you don't need, like all this extra gravel and stuff that I have in my inventory. You're going to take a wooden button, and you're going to go to the 3rd block, and you're going to place that button just like that. Then I actually need a bucket, which I didn't bring, but that's... Ow. I believe I do have buckets in one of these anyway. Actually, I know for a fact I have. I might be letting a tadpole go right here. Can you stop hitting me, please? Yeah. Working with guardians until you get the farm built. So we're going to go like this. I'm just going to let a tadpole loose and use his bucket for water because we only need 1 bucket and I have a bunch of tadpoles. So be free, my friend. Be free. Then we're going to take water. We're going to place 1 source above the button and then 2 sources above the button. Just like that. We're going to keep this bucket on us because we need it. Pick that up, right? I didn't hear the noise. I did pick it up. Okay, so we're going to put that back. Then, to make this a cave spawn, which is exactly what we want, you need 2 sources of water above that button. Then you're going to take solid blocks of any kind. And since we already have our chest down, I'll take that off for right now. Then you're going to go like that. You're going to cap it off. Oh, and another thing I forgot to mention, on each one of these, you're going to want to surround this top part like a cap. Because I found that they can actually spawn through this stuff. I almost forgot to mention that, and that can also let them just out so they won't just stay in anyway if you don't do this. Kind of important. So just go around these top 2 blocks where the guardian can spawn and surround it in another layer of blocks just like this, making a cap. That will definitely help keep them inside. So then what we're going to do is we're going to come down here and see if I blocked out some of the closer spawn points. There's a bunch of them spawning over there, but hopefully this will still work. We will see right now. As you can see, it's actually working, but I didn't actually drop the guardians low enough, so we're going to have to go down further than what I have it right now. So what I'm going to do is break this glass right here, and then we're going to actually kill them. So right now, we're just going to put a solid block right here, just so we can move this hopper down and this chest down. So we're going to do that right now. So that's another thing that you have to consider, is make sure that you're dropping the guardians far enough to instantly kill them. That's also very important, which I failed to do, so learn from my mistakes. We're going to block that off and see if this is enough. We'll set that right there, make sure this is silk touch. It is. Break it again, water will flow into the ground. We'll dig out a little bit more area in here, like that. We'll break this glass, break that block, replace that glass, and now we're just going to wait and see if they respawn in a second here and see what we get. So just one last look after cutting out a bunch of the spawns. They started flying down here at the speed of light. For some reason it lulled right as I started recording though. But as you can see, getting a bunch of drops every second. It just keeps going and going and going and going. And yeah, if you like the video, like and subscribe. Have a nice day.